Life doesn't kill you overnight. It wears you down, slowly, a little bit every day. One decision you avoid, one moment you tell yourself, not now. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they get comfortable with a life that isn't improving, but also isn't painful enough to force change. There's no dramatic collapse, no obvious tragedy, just a long stretch of days that feel fine. And that's how life slowly drains you without ever having to attack you head-on. It gives you a dangerously convincing thought. This is okay. I can live like this. There's a lie a lot of people believe, that stability is a reward. It's not. Stability is just a temporary state. Stay in it long enough, and it quietly turns into a trap. You don't hate your job, but if you're honest, you're not proud of it either. You're not struggling to eat, but you also don't dare to stop working. You're not desperate, but you don't feel like you're moving forward. So you keep going, not because you want to, but because leaving now feels more dangerous than staying. Here's the truth. You're not stuck because you have no options. You're stuck because the easiest option is choosing nothing. Stability, when it comes too early, doesn't save you. It just stretches out a life you don't actually want. Pause for a moment. Not to keep listening, but to answer one honest question. In the past 1 or 2 years, have you known exactly what you need to change, yet kept telling yourself, not now, later, just a little longer? Not because you don't know what to do, but because you're avoiding the decision. If that's you, leave a very short comment below. Just answer one of these. I know I'm procrastinating, or I'm living in just okay. No stories, no explanations. Writing it down won't fix everything instantly, but it does something more important. It stops you from avoiding yourself in silence. And for many people, real change begins the moment they dare to admit that. A lot of people think their problem is lack of motivation. That's wrong. If it were just motivation, you would have changed already. The real issue runs deeper. Humans aren't wired to seek meaning. We're wired to avoid risk. In the modern world, risk no longer means hunger or death. Risk now looks like being judged, being seen as a failure, falling behind, losing your sense of safety. So, your brain constantly pushes you towards what's familiar, what's socially acceptable, what draws the least attention. It would rather let you suffer quietly for years than risk one public failure. That's why you delay the hard things, stay where you don't want to be, keep following a path that clearly isn't going anywhere. Not because you don't see the problem, but because the cost of change feels higher than the cost of enduring. The system doesn't need you strong. It just needs you busy enough not to ask dangerous questions. You're encouraged to work harder, upgrade your lifestyle, consume smarter, stay entertained, but rarely asked, is what you're trading every day actually worth it? The system doesn't control you with force, it soothes you with convenience. Everything is faster now. Food, entertainment, dopamine, short-term rewards. Meanwhile, the cost of living keeps rising, the value of labor keeps shrinking, and your time never increases. You're not controlled by chains, you're controlled by repetition. And if you don't stop to look, it's easy to confuse "I'm moving forward" with. There's a common mistake people make, believing that what's holding them back is their situation, their job, their family, their age, their responsibilities. Not exactly. Those are just reasonable explanations. They're not the root cause. The real enemy is far more uncomfortable because it has no face to blame. It's rationalized procrastination. Not the lazy kind, the mature kind. You don't say, "I'm scared." You say, "I'm thinking it through." You don't say, "I'm avoiding it." You say, "I need more time." You don't say, "I don't dare." You say, "I'm not confident enough yet." And so you stay exactly where you are, while fully convinced you're being responsible. This is the most dangerous form of procrastination because it makes you feel in control, when in reality, inertia is making the decisions for you. This enemy doesn't force you to do the wrong thing. It simply whispers, "Not now" is fine. And day by day, "not now" quietly turns into never. If you look closely, the people who truly escape a slow, shrinking life aren't always the smartest. They share something else. They act before they feel certain. They don't wait for feeling ready, social approval, external validation, a perfect plan. They understand one thing early. Clarity doesn't come before action. It comes after action. While most people say, "Let me understand first," they say, "I'll act and let reality teach me the rest." They accept a deeply uncomfortable phase, being misunderstood, being doubted, being judged as reckless, seeing no immediate results. But they don't negotiate with themselves about what needs to be done each day. Not based on motivation, not based on emotion. They've already chosen a direction, and they don't allow themselves to return to the starting line. The difference isn't talent, it's tolerance for uncertainty. If you're waiting for reassurance like, "Just do it and everything will work out," this video isn't for you. There are no guarantees, no safe paths, only choices you'll regret less later. The exit isn't one big decision, it's a different way of living, starting with very small things. 1. Stop negotiating with yourself. Every day, you already know what needs to be done, what you're avoiding, what you're delaying under the excuse of being busy. The problem isn't ignorance, it's negotiation. Just today. I'll make up for it tomorrow, when I feel better. People who escape don't do it by being harsher. They do it by closing the door to internal debate. If something needs to be done, it gets done. No convincing, no explaining. 2. Lower emotional standards. Raise action standards. Another trap of procrastination is waiting for the right feeling, right timing, right mood, right energy. Emotion is the most unstable variable in life. If emotion dictates action, you'll only move when things are already easy. People who move forward don't try to control how they feel. They build systems that function without emotion. No excitement required. No right vibe. Just the right action. 3. Cut what makes you feel okay, but keeps you stuck. Some things don't drag you down immediately. They just keep you in the same place for a very long time. Content that kills time. Entertainment that numbs the feeling of being stuck. Conversations that go nowhere but make you feel connected. These things aren't evil, but if you're procrastinating, they're painkillers, not cures. You don't need to cut everything, just the things you use to avoid reality. 4. Accept a phase where no one applauds you. This is the hardest part. When you start moving differently, you won't get much positive feedback. No applause, no reassurance, no confirmation you're right. You'll feel slow, out of sync, like you don't belong anywhere. That's the signal. It means you've left the old trajectory. Every real path begins with a stretch of isolation. 5. Ask the final question and stop avoiding it. In the end, there's only one question that matters. If 2 years from now your life looks exactly like it does today, can you accept that? If the answer is no, you don't need more motivation. You need to stop procrastinating in every form. No one is coming to save you. There is no moment of finally ready. There are only 2 clear options. Continue living in just okay and call it safety, or accept short-term discomfort in exchange for long-term control. Procrastination doesn't kill you immediately. It steals your future piece by piece. The only question is, will you keep letting it?